welcome back to another episode of Happy Chirp. Today I have with me a very successful business owner and a friend of mine, Sehrish Khan. Hi Sehrish.
Hi Humna, thank you so much for the most generous introduction.
You're welcome. Sehrish is the owner of Spectra Baby Pakistan, and they basically have baby goods and pumps, breast pumps, right? Yes. Personally, this is a brand I think that's very close to my own heart because मेरी अपनी exclusive pumping की journey रह चुकी है. I struggled with breastfeeding और अगर Spectra का pump ना होता मेरे पास, so I don't know how I would have been able to breastfeed my baby. It's a very important product क्योंकि a lot of women struggle with it more than we know. And plus, especially for working women and women who have to be separated from their baby for one reason or the other, mothers जिनके बच्चे जो हैं निक्कू में होते हैं, premature born होते हैं, कोई problem होती है, उनके लिए this is a life-saving product. So we're going to get deep into this with Sehrish and we'll just get to it. So how are you, Sehrish?
Good, Humna, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for making the time to come here and talk to us.
It was most needed. I really wanted to come here. Matlab, when I was traveling to Islamabad, I was like, I need to meet Humna. And I'm so glad you invited me over. So thank you for that.
Chalo, I'm glad. Okay, so Sehrish, can you talk to us sort of about your personal journey and what led to, you starting this business? Why Spectra Baby? What happened?
So, Humna, So I used to live in the US at that time. When I gave birth to Kumail, I have a son. He's 2.5 years old. And when I gave birth, to hua ye ke I thought that I would just be nursing, and then pump is something which is like for emergencies or something. I remember I was at the hospital and my husband was like, "Acha, pump deliver ho chuka hai," and it was not Spectra actually. And he was like, "Should I assemble it or what are we doing with this box?" And I was like, I don't think we'll need it, but ab free mein aa gaya to rakh lo.
ठीक है.
And so when I gave birth, my baby for 2 days would just latch and he had almost no diapers. So Kumail had almost no diapers and I couldn't understand what is happening.
So basically he was latching, but he was not like peeing enough.
He was not peeing enough. And so I took him immediately to a lactation consultant. First of all, I took him to a pediatrician because he was on the verge of getting dehydrated. So I took him to a pediatrician and she said, "Listen, you have to go to a lactation consultant, but for now he's getting dehydrated and you need to add a pump or you need to start him on formula because he's not making enough diapers." And so that was like a shock. ये क्या होता है? And so I immediately went to a lactation consultant and she basically evaluated his suck and she saw that he was not sucking efficiently and इसके बहुत flutter sucks हैं. So she said, "Listen, he's not sucking properly. We don't know what the issue is, but for now you need to exclusively start pumping until he is back on his weight track, which is 2 weeks बाद. And then we'll see कि what's happening." इतना ज़्यादा ना तो मुझे तो I went into shock कि nursing is not working and I'm just like, am I the only one?
मतलब वो concept ही नहीं था कि breast feeding में भी इस तरह की मसले आ सकते हैं. हाँ.
And so उस वक्त I started using a pump which basically made me hate my pumping journey. I will not name it, of course, but I just could not deal with it. And I remembered crying and obviously like, why me wala. And then when I realized after talking to so many other my friends कि they all had the same issue. कोई बताता ही नहीं इसके बारे में. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not the only one. And so I joined a lot of groups जैसे International Board Certified Lactation Consultant का अपना Facebook group है for nursing, and then obviously I went to lactation consultant and भरा हुआ lactation consultant. मतलब she has no appointments. I mean, it basically signifies that people are having issues nursing their babies. And so at that point I basically had no supply.
खत्म हो गया.
उस बच्चे ने सक ही नहीं किया, उसने सिग्नल नहीं दिया बॉडी को एंड बेसिकली आई वाज नॉट प्रोड्यूसिंग मिल्क. माय मिल्क वाज लाइक 1 ml, बहुत कम अ डे, लाइक 1 ounce a day. आई थिंक बहुत कम.
हाँ, आई थिंक लेट्स पुट इट आउट देयर कि बेसिकली व्हेन यू if your baby doesn't take the milk out from your body, तो body को signal दिया जाता है that your baby doesn't need milk. It's a demand and supply sort of a thing. So while Sehrish thought that the baby is having milk because he was latching, but he wasn't taking any out of her body. And because of that, the body thought that it does not need to produce the milk. And you sort of lost your supply.
Yeah, I did really lost my supply, and the pump I had was not working out.
That's
for me.
very depressing, because when you want to
Yeah.
breastfeed your child
Yes.
and your supply doesn't
Yes.
come, it's
I mean, so obviously
heartbreaking.
He was almost formula fed for the first few weeks, and until I built my supply. So then my lactation consultant forced me, "Ke bhai, whatever pump you have, get rid of it. Get Spectra hospital grade pump and just take it." And then my OBGYN actually gave her Spectra to me, which was so generous of her. And try it out. Because she herself had Spectra and lactation concern boli thi. So I got Spectra. I worked 2.5, 3 weeks on it. I mean, I went from an ounce a day to like 28 ounce a day of relactation with the Spectra.
Oh
and
my
I had
God.
no supply. And that basically was, to me, was like my entire like vision of giving Kumail breast milk for at least 6 months mujhe tha, was simply because of Spectra. So then I became exclusively pumping mother. I went to the lactation consultant a lot of times. Ke bhai, at that time I was not working, like I had quit my job. And so I was like, okay, I would like him back on the breast. And even if he latched, he had a problem. Eventually we diagnosed he had a tongue tie, posterior tongue tie, which had to be snipped. And he was 4 months. So basically it was kind of too late in the game, I would say. But at the end of the day, like I gave Kumail breast milk for almost 8 months. After which I basically moved to UAE and I stopped pumping for my own reasons. Ke bhai, ab nahi ho sakta. But I was like, it was basically the only reason I gave breast milk to Kumail. Like, that's it. Because mujhe pata hai, I know ke wo formula pe hota hai. And I have nothing against formula. But what I'm saying is, I wanted to give him something and I could through that, right? And so I discovered this wonderful product. And then when Kumail was 5 months, I went to Pakistan and I realized there's no Spectra in Pakistan. And I'm just like, how is this possible? Because everyone is using Spectra US mein. So they're like, nahi, Spectra nahi. And at that time, I was like, must be a market for this. Although I know people didn't know about Spectra wahan pe. And then when I moved to UAE, I still remember that at that time, I actually made my profile public. And I was like, let's just start. I wanted to go blogging mein thoda sa mujhe start karna tha. And so the only thing that kept coming to my mind was that, bhai, like so many women are struggling with the same breastfeeding issue. Or us time mein Spectra ka maine sochna shuru kar diya ke ye kyun nahi hai Pakistan mein. And then I decided that I'm going to launch this in Pakistan, which was, I mean, mushkil tha kafi aur main kabhi underestimate nahi karungi. Lekin then I basically started my business. It helped me. So I knew it would help others,
It was very much needed, क्योंकि Pakistan में a good pump of, वैसे you've brought Spectra to Pakistan. This is a very big deal when I think about it.
You're so kind.
No, honestly, because यहाँ पर pediatricians generally have no idea about breastfeeding. Like उनको कुछ भी नहीं पता होता.
नहीं पता होता.
और lactation consultants आपके यहाँ पे बहुत कम है. Like आपके hospitals that are specialized for gynecology, जहाँ पे बच्चे day in and day out पैदा हो रहे हैं, वहाँ पर there are no lactation consultants, It's very sad. So because there are no lactation consultants, और delivery से पहले किसी mother की कोई appointment नहीं होती किसी lactation, people have no idea.
Yeah, I know, they have no idea.
Every other mother you talk to, मेरा तो supply ही नहीं था. जबकि ऐसा नहीं होता. When you get pregnant, you have milk.
Yes.
But there is some other issue that has not been diagnosed, know. And their pumping के ऊपर awareness नहीं है कि आप pump कर सकते हो. आपका supply अगर ख़त्म हो रहा है तो आप relactate कर सकते हो. And so many of these things. So जब से like Spectra has come to Pakistan, I know that a lot of people now understand and talk about it. क्योंकि मैंने भी किया और मैंने अपने Insta पे भी डाला. So there are so many people who are just like कि अच्छा like ये भी होता है. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's a very much needed sort of thing because यहाँ पर तो बात ही नहीं होती है उसके बारे में. So starting this business in Pakistan, what do you think were some of your, say, personal and professional struggles in trying to set it up? I know you have a very young baby as well.
Yes.
And that's very difficult as well. So how did you sort of set it up then?
Yeah, so when I launched Spectra Kumail was 8 months, 9 months I would say at that time, और मैं UAE में थी, and it was for me it was के so I'm actually by profession, I'm actually a certified public accountant. So that's chartered accountant. And I worked in investment banking and finance all my life in the US for like 7-8 years. And so it was very natural for me. Okay, you're in UAE, get into banking or get into like some MNC and just work for their finance. And so I told my husband, no, like I am not doing this. I want to open up my own business. So personally, I always wanted to get into business. ये तो था मुझे. Personally, मेरे लिए इतना struggle नहीं था to launch Spectra because I was really motivated and driven to launch this brand because I was so connected to it.
Yeah, it was a personal thing. You wanted to really solve this problem for other women.
Yeah, and it was like a fresh bruise जो होता है ना कि अभी I've gotten out of it and क्यों नहीं है पाकिस्तान में. So personally मेरे लिए इतना struggle नहीं था. Professionally बहुत ही ज़्यादा struggle था. I mean मैं UAE में थी, एक तो distance was a big issue for me. I remember, so my father does business in Pakistan and I told my father, listen, I know it sounds impossible, but I really want to launch a brand in Pakistan and I want to operate it from UAE. And my father was just like, go for it. So my father was, उन्होंने मुझे push किया, it's okay, you can do it, you know. And so I told my husband, मैं क्या करूँ, should I work? And he was like, no, go for it. So both of them, it's not like I need their validation, but I was a little like, okay, motivated कि हो सकता है, you know. Because obviously they both are like close to me and professionally my dad knows a lot and then my husband lives with me. So then उसके बाद professionally, matlab, there are so many issues, but like launching was, it's not like you can just launch a brand. So for me, I had to like pitch to Spectra. And a lot of people think Spectra is in US. It's not in US. It's made in Korea and its suppliers actually sit in Korea. So I had to pitch to them.
How did you do that? How did you get in touch and pitch to them?
It's really funny. I remember spending nights, Humna, researching कि मैं किस तरह उस supplier के पास चली जाऊँ. Like googling कि कोरिया का अच्छा manual में पीछे लिखा है, then like emailing everyone on their website, like मतलब crazy, बिल्कुल मैं like stalker बन गई थी.
हाँ,
you know?
कि किसको मैं ढूंढूं जो हाँ जिससे मैं बात कर सकूं.
हाँ, जिससे बात कर सकूं. I also like क्या बोलते हैं, I emailed a lot of people. Now that I think about it, I emailed them. I wrote a huge pitch कि I really want this brand or ये वो. And so one of the reps from Spectra finally reached out to me and then we spoke. So the funny thing is, Spectra के साथ मैंने आज तक फ़ोन पे बात नहीं की.
अच्छा.
We have done everything on WhatsApp. So that's professionally like a little funny to me मेरे लिए कि मैंने कभी इनको देखा नहीं है. I've never spoken with them on the phone or anything, but WhatsApp के through. So ये एक पिच था. दूसरा था अब इसको लीगली फॉर्म करना है पाकिस्तान में. सो लीगल फॉर्मेशन फॉर मी वाज वेरी chaotic because I wanted to be a sole proprietor, but then I couldn't because मैं पाकिस्तान में नहीं रह रही हूँ. साइन कौन करेगा? So then I did legal things where I put my dad as a partner so that he could, you know, I gave him very less percentage ताकि, you know, he could sign. उस तरह legal वो था. लेकिन I will say कि my dad, in terms of getting contacts, chalo legal lawyer ye hai, I leveraged my dad's, you know, which was really helpful. But I'm telling you, oh my God, it was so difficult.
Yeah,
like,
I can't
I have
imagine.
tried rivers and like of getting Spectra in Pakistan because our first shipment was stuck at the port for 2 months. They would not release it. Because they said कि आपका pump, oh, medical device, we cannot import this into Pakistan. So 2 months मेरी customs पे फंसी हुई थी. We still have a case running with Customs Pakistan, which is a long story in itself. But we had to register with Drug Regulation Authority of Pakistan, and we got a whole new license. We got a warehouse made for that. We had a pharmacist on board, technician on board, or we filled all these forms. पूरा वक्त इस्लामाबाद में forms आ रहे होते थे. We waited for a license. I mean, we have gone through really difficult, I would say, times, like audit हुआ हमारा, everything. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like मैं सोचती हूँ ना, if I knew I was going to get into that, मतलब मैं बहुत discouraged जाती. But it was very difficult and definitely distance makes it more difficult.
Yeah, वहाँ से बैठ के करना.
बहुत था. I hired like employee. I had an employee and वो सारे काम करता था. And just somehow I was like, just कर लो. Like every day to wake up, it's okay. Products launch होंगे. You might get a good response. Just do it. It's now or never. बहुत ज़्यादा like I used to push myself, but alhamdulillah हो गया. And not to undermine, क्योंकि अभी तक I face a lot of issues, a lot. But now I think it's engraved in me कि कुछ तो होगा. just deal with that kind of situation. This is Pakistan. Because बहुत मसले
No, I can imagine how complicated it is because it's you're importing, right?
Yes.
So there's that side of things.
Yes.
Then there is obviously it falls under medical equipment, like they said, in some ways. So that's another sort of thing you have to deal with.
Licenses for that. Yes.
Yeah, so it just and zahir hai yahan par apna legal system and all of that, and getting through and past that is a lot of work. So that's a lot of obstacles one by one that you sort of had to face, especially dur reh ke. So how did you sort of convince yourself to like keep doing this? What was it? And how much time actually did it take from when you finally got in touch with Spectra to launching it in Pakistan finally?
May to October.
Which year?
May 20. Oh my God, 2020.
Acha, 2020 mein you did this.
2020. And yes, it's 2022 right now. 2020 is when I approached them, was talking, सब कुछ हो रहा था, and then till October में मेरी shipment release हुई थी. मेरी shipment August में पहुंच गई थी, and they would not release it. It's funny when I say this because they would not release it because they said, oh, go get the Drug Regulation Authority of Pakistan ka license. And then when we finally got it, they said, oh, we don't need it because your pumps,
इसमें तो drug उसकी क्या जरूरत है?
And now we're going to put it under pumps, like car के pumps, जो motor के pumps आते हैं.
Oh my, they didn't even know कि किस चीज में उसको
and
categorize
now I'll tell
करना
you
है.
why, like, people, so the reason why I always push for anyone who's listening for a DRAP license, it is the word, if anyone is in pharmaceutical companies, it is the most difficult license to get because they audit you, they make you write audit reports of everything, they come inspect your warehouse, like it's legit thing. But the best thing about getting that license is that you don't pay a lot of tax as compared to if you're importing something else. So you still pay customs tax, every tax, but they give you good waivers because you are importing something that's considered life-saving.
Right.
However, they stopped doing that after our first shipment. And they said, I'm so sorry, this is not life-saving, this is baby goods. And so therefore, we're going to put you under regular pumps, which are like suction pumps or motor pumps. So बहुत messed up है यहाँ पे business करना, and I proudly say कि मैं कोई रिश्वत नहीं करती, and I don't go into this, and मैं कर भी नहीं सकती, to be honest, मैं यूएई में बैठी हूँ, but it is very, very difficult to do business, and it takes a level of, I would say, like, attitude.
Yeah.
Like, I am such a different person at work. I feel like sometimes I do feel like a bully. I'm sorry to use this word, but I feel like कोई काम ही नहीं होता.
जब तक it is not done with that attitude, they're not going to do it.
And I will say that as a woman, I've faced many problems working here. First, I have felt in many instances working here as a woman that men do try to kind of take away your spark when you're sitting, or they feel a little more like they want to control you, and I have felt that in many instances because I've done a lot of market visits to all these different baby shops here and to a lot of hospitals, and I've felt this level of uncomfortable, okay,
not being taken
right.
seriously, and
and you have to really have a certain attitude for it, But again, I'm sorry if I've deviated from your original question of struggling. Definitely a lot of professional struggle. So this is why I tell people that whoever wants to go in the business, you need to have a vision. And if your vision is not aligning anymore, you cannot continue. Right? So first you need to believe in yourself. You really need to have that belief. Just for example, I do push myself daily. Believe in your vision. I wake up, your vision is बहुत बड़ा vision है, and then you break that vision down into achievable goals. कि ये मेरा बड़ा vision है that I want to be the best maternity supplies provider in Pakistan, and I want to be the best baby good supplier in Pakistan. Then you have that vision, but how are you going to execute a vision? So you need to have different goals, many, many goals. Then you need to transform those goals into achievable objectives. So you have to create that roadmap. Without that, you cannot survive in a business. And then if you lose your vision, you don't have goals that support your vision, then eventually you will just kind of back off. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I think that I have that vision, and I feel like I have not even achieved like 20% of it. You know, I feel like I have a long way to go, long way to go. But breaking them down into individual objectives has helped me like have that thing ke bus it can happen, and you know, inshallah we will grow. Just been 1.5 year of Spectra. We've done really, really well, and inshallah I have like a lot of plans for the future.
That's good.
I'm sorry, this was a very long
No,
answer.
no.
This
I'm
podcast is going to go for 2 hours.
No, that's good. I'm glad you shared that. That was very important. Sahi. So, okay. So, what do you think right now? Generally, Pakistan में now it's successfully running Spectra. आपको क्या लगता है कि पाकिस्तानी मार्केट में सबसे बड़ी स्ट्रगल आपको क्या आती है? Is it lack of awareness, like people don't know enough, are not interested enough, or is it कि लोगों को उसकी importance या उसकी value समझ में नहीं आती, which is why they don't understand maybe why this product is expensive, or all of these things? What is the biggest struggle that a brand or a business like yours is having right now?
So there are two kinds of things. I think one of the biggest financial struggle बहुत ज़्यादा है because we're registered importers. So importers के लिए बहुत difficult time है पाकिस्तान में because dollar is really has increased, and I was importing my first shipment was at 150 rupees, and now it's more than 180. So we're facing huge issues in importing. So financially struggle ये है कि हमारी economy is not built to encourage imports, ठीक है ना? Because we have a huge trade deficit right now in Pakistan. So that is something जो मेरा struggle है, dollar is the problem. But जो if I talk about the local market, हम लोग का मेरा सबसे बड़ा struggle जो स्पेक्ट्रा के साथ है, जो वो ये है कि people don't put two and two together. Like a lot of people, moms that message me say, Spectra expensive है, तो I'm going to इससे बेहतर मैं formula कर लूँ. So मैं कहती हूँ कि let's do the math, because first of all, if you want, Spectra का सबसे cheapest pump, which is actually very effective, and actually it's the second best seller after S1, SQ, that is for 30,000. This includes taxes, by the way, 17% tax, which we have to give back to the government. So it's like 29,900 something, I think 30,000. And अगर उसको आप divide by 12 करें, I mean, that is way less than formula, which is costing you, I think, 20K at least a month if you want to use a good formula. And by the way, there is nothing better nutritional wise than breast milk. So yes,
you're spending much less amount of money to give your baby something that is literally liquid gold.
Yes.
But you're willing to spend all that money on formula. Basically, लोग उसको उस तरह नहीं देखते कि formula आप छोटे amounts में तो कर रहे हो. लेकिन in eventuality, it's a lot more money. जैसे मैं आज देखती हूँ कि मैंने exclusively pump किया for almost 7 months. ठीक है, and अब मैंने फॉर्मूला पे शिफ्ट किया है, ठीक है, एंड इट्स एक्सपेंसिव. अगर मैंने यही 7 months फॉर्मूला में लगाए होते, so my baby would be having formula, not breast milk, and I wanted to breastfeed my baby, and it would cost me so much more. So
I know, it's so expensive.
So I think buying a pump like Spectra and exclusively like pumping for your baby, it's like much cheaper.
So because I'm math में अच्छी हूँ, divide 65,000 by 12, I don't know, it's like 7,000-8,000 something like that, right? That's your fixed cost every month जो जा रहा है. If you amortize it over 12 months, ठीक है ना? Because a child should be primarily on breast milk or formula for the first year. That's why I divide by 12. वो 7,000-8,000 आपका pump है, and formulas almost, by the way, first 6 months at least 15-20K, because they recommend कि exclusively formula breast milk में हो. तो आप 15 to 20,000 पैसे खर्च करें formula पे, way more expensive, not as nutritious, based on research, ठीक है, and it's money going down the dump, ठीक है ना? And pump जो आपका है, it's an asset. You either you use it for the next baby or you pass it on, so or you sell it. So you really recover your money very, very quickly.
But not with formula. You can't do that.
So people do not understand this, and इस रीजन के वजह से, बिकॉज पीपल लाइक अच्छा हम अपफ्रंट 65,000 नहीं दे रहे हैं, वी कोलैबोरेटेड विद दराज एंड किस्त पे टू गिव पम्प्स ऑन इंस्टॉलमेंट्स इंटरेस्ट फ्री. We, Spectra, bear the cost of interest.
Acha,
Which is
acha,
FYI.
acha.
Yes. So right now we've collaborated with KissPay, which is which is new here, and they give Spectra on installments for 4 or 6 months, interest free. And guess what? We bear the interest. That's why it's interest free. Look at the interest free because we are giving them the money. Okay? So,
That's amazing.
yeah. So I mean, honestly, no excuse now. Like that's what I think. And yeah, this is the mindset जो मुझे समझ नहीं आती. Like how do I? And I think it comes with education and awareness. Right?
Awareness, हाँ.
So I hope with due time, ये mindset थोड़ा clear हो. Like I mean, people like you who have helped, Spectra for sure. Humna, you've really helped Spectra grow. Like बहुत, you're very kind of you, and like we really appreciate your support with Spectra. But I hope time people like you and other mothers can spread the word, and people say fed is best. I say informed is best, right? Because you can feed your baby formula. There's nothing against that, but you should know what your
options are. Huh. Because see, that's excellent. You're absolutely right. Because a lot of women don't know. They think the option is nursing and formula. They don't know that. And you know what? Like it breaks my heart that some people don't. Because जब उनको बाद में पता चलता है that they could have breastfeed their baby using a pump. So it's like nobody told me. That's really sad.
It's very, very sad.
You're right. Informed is best.
Yes, because definitely I feel like if I didn't know about pumping, because I actually didn't, to be honest, like मुझे तो exclusively pump करूँगी. I will add that I really think the reason I could exclusively pump was because of Spectra, because it really is a great pump. It is an awesome pump, and I have so much in store for Spectra. Like my vision is that yes, we have really good pumps, but I want to give women hands-free options. And, we launched hands-free cups, I'm so sorry, last year. And now we're coming up with wireless breast pumps, electric breast pumps this year, inshallah. So my goal is to really improve the quality of pumping in Pakistan. And pumping for everyone. Aapko zaruri nahi ki you're always nursing, right? You need breaks, man. Like, can't always be nursing the kid, or you have to return back to work, or, I don't know, you want to have a breather or something, and you want your husband or
somebody else to feed the baby.
So my goal is really that I can enable women to say that, pumping is not bad. I mean, obviously pumping requires a lot of work, and it does require a lot of work. But at the end of the day, I don't want them to be miserable pumping. Itni dard ho rahi hai, or like, oh, this pump makes so much noise. Because trust me, like if you hear other pumps in comparison, they are like really loud.
Spectra is not loud.
Yeah, it's not too loud. Actually, it was kind of like white noise for my kid when I was pumping. So yeah, that's my goal, that mothers enjoy their experience with Spectra.
So I want to put it out there at this point that before my baby was born, Sehrish reached out to me for collaboration, and she offered me the Spectra pump. And I said, great, I'll use it and then I'll review it. Who knew I would eventually be exclusively pumping? And if Sehrish had not gifted me that pump and we had not done that collaboration, I don't know कि मेरा क्या हुआ होता, because it's because of that pump that I was able to breastfeed my child. And honestly, like, this is like as genuine as it gets. It's a remarkable product.
Thank you so much.
मतलब अगर वो ना होता, if you had not brought Spectra to Pakistan, I would not have been able to breastfeed my baby for 7 months. It's मुझे एक तो पहले exclusively pumping का पता ही नहीं था. I was just like anybody,
same
over here.
Like me. I run this company.
I found out about exclusive pumping and how, you can do it and everything. And agar ye product na hota, if I had not known about Spectra. Also, a lot of my friends struggled with the same thing. 2 of my friends struggled with the same thing, and their babies were born in July and August. Okay. And they both struggled a lot. एक ने मुझे बताया कि उसने एक यूज़ किया था, ब्लीडिंग हुई, पेन हुआ, ये हुआ. And बिल्कुल उसके बाद Spectra came.
Okay.
And then they both bought Spectra and their lives changed after that. So nice. फिर एक ने 7 months किया, फिर एक ने 4 months exclusively pump किया उसके बाद. So because of Spectra, like, they used other pumps, it didn't work out for them. And उनके लिए बड़ा मिरेकल था बिकॉज यू हैव दिस मॉमी ग्रुप थिंग. तो जब वो हुआ सो दे वर लाइक ओ माय गॉड स्पेक्ट्रा इज इन पाकिस्तान नाउ.
बहुत खुशी होती है सुनना.
तो वो एंड देन दैट्स हाउ लाइक यू नो आई थिंक यू नो वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स एज वेल, Sarah.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
she used Spectra for a very long time as well. So and then you have all these options. Then I also use this other option by Spectra, which was hands free. You
Yeah,
know,
the
you just
hands-free
sort of you just sort of put the pumps on and you don't have to
Yeah.
do anything. And then you launched the pumping bras also,
Yes, yes, yes.
which were literally amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thank God you like them.
No,
because-
they were really good. I think you really put thought into
Yes,
that product
yes.
as well. Wo, is that also part of Spectra?
No, so Spectra doesn't sell
Yeah,
pumping
that's what I
bras,
thought.
so I had to get them manufactured because we had so much demand कि I actually found a supplier. Spectra, but मैं the details में जास्ती because confidential
Yeah, of
information
course,
होती
of
काफी,
course.
but I found a supplier and then they basically make it, so I import them as well.
Okay, okay.
And I knew it was something in demand. I mean, लोग बहुत commonly frequently bought item है कि pump ले रहे हैं तो हाथ थोड़ी use करेंगे पूरा वक्त, you know.
हाँ, all
They
the
need to
time.
multitask, and the one
Especially exclusive pumpers.
हाँ.
Exclusive pumpers need
Even
a
general
very
मैं
convenient. बहुत मुश्किल काम है.
that मैं सोच भी नहीं सकती. And
For anybody who doesn't know, pumping
yeah.
is tough.
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. And so you need to have gadgets that make your life easier, you know.
Yeah.
So pumping bras is one of them. And so I made them in a way that you can pump and you can use it as a nursing bra and you can use it as a regular bra as well. So that's why what I wanted to do. And I think that is just extremely important. Uske alawa to मैं सोच नहीं I had a very bad one actually, really bad one. Now that I think of it, I wish I had a better one.
No, this is excellent that you launched these as well क्योंकि pumping bras पाकिस्तान में नहीं मिलते हैं.
अच्छा यहाँ पे ये तो मैं I'm shocked.
कहाँ से मिलते हैं? कोई मुझे बता दे. कहाँ से मिलते हैं? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only place I know is Spectra also. शायद हो और but
Yeah.
हाँ.
You know, I feel like I really listen to these customers. Believe it or not, I'm not joking about this. Okay, I have so much like finance stuff to do now, and even matlab, I'm not going to call myself a big company, but like I actually listen to all my. I actually go on Instagram and make sure I'm listening to all these messages, and I actually
The
respond
feedback,
to them.
the
Everything.
demand.
Yes, demand, and I feel like that is what I want to. Spectra to stand out for, because I know there are other breast pumps here, like you can go and you can find
Buy
Medela,
them.
Tommy Tippy and all these others, but I really want women के जब उनको कोई मसला हो pumping का, ये नहीं कि everyone goes to them, you know what I mean, like a company goes to them या उनका pump, because pumps are electrical items, they can have issues, you know. So I want Spectra to have this like really good customer service, warranties and everything, so moms are even comfortable, they can trust our brand.
So once it's not just about purchasing, like once they buy,
Yeah, you're part of the Spectra family.
Yeah,
like
then-
that's how we treat them. Really, that's how I treat all my customers. You know, they've invested their hard-earned money into something, so they deserve it. You know, that's my mindset. I mean, I would want someone to provide me like tips and tricks and whatever that is. And again, the entire vision that I have for this company is that it becomes the leading maternity supplier company. कि कोई औरत होगी उसको जो चाहिए, she thinks
वहाँ
about
हमें मिल
Spectra,
जाएगा.
you know. So that is my vision, and I am really happy that Korea supports my vision, you know, and they believe in me and they continue the agency with me, you know. So
do they like you started the pumping bras, right? So they give you that freedom to introduce your own products under their
absolutely.
brand.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
you know.
amazing. That's
You know,
amazing.
Yeah, so they were, you know, they were like, as long as you don't put like Spectra ka logo on it and stuff, absolutely, you know. So they are very nice. I think the brand is just so nice itself, and then the people are extremely nice. And I mean, my goal for this year is to actually visit Korea as well, meet the team. And yeah, so you know, you asked me once, K, like, what drives you? You know, now I'm actually thinking about it, because
like what kept you going?
What kept me going? And trust me, I have so many downs in this business. Today, I had suffered a huge financial loss because of Spectra, which is part of this. But I remember my last day of Karachi, I was at this festival and I was just going and I was thinking, packing karni hai, oh my God, itna kaam hai, like, oh, you know, all of that. And I was going and this woman stopped me ekdam and said, and she was wearing this vendor tag, and I don't know if she's watching or not, but she came up to me and she was about to cry. And I basically said, are you okay? Like, she's like, I heard that you are here, and I'm just here to come thank you. Because of you, I've been able to give breast milk to my baby, and I use Spectra S2, and like I'm gonna start crying, and you are such an angel, and all these nice
Goosebumps
things.
हो गए
और
मुझे.
मुझे इतना, and I felt like मुझे बहुत like, this is why, because I know that my product makes a difference. Maybe not to 100% of the people if they buy it, but at least to 90-95%, this product really works and actually improves the quality of life with pumping, and is able to nourish the kid. So like, this is how it has kept me going. I cannot close this brand down, or I cannot just
It's
sit
helping
back and
so many women, Sehrish.
Yeah.
मैं ही जानती हूँ इतनी
Yeah.
सारी को,
Oh,
like I
that's so-
mentioned, like,
Yeah.
and it's not like just mothers, it's the babies.
Yeah.
Or I forgot to say it was swag, but honestly, like, if I did not have Spectra, the pump, I didn't just feed my baby. I fed
Yeah.
another baby.
Oh yes, I saw that story.
I fed
Yeah,
another
yeah,
baby, an ICU baby. And again, if I didn't have the pump, I wouldn't have been able to. I was very easily able to be a donor. I was like, I'll do
Yeah,
it.
that's
Kyun?
amazing,
Because
by
I
the way.
had the pump. I had the pump. I could do it. Varna, you could be, a lactating mother, but you can't feed another baby क्योंकि
Yeah.
आपके पास pump ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
But I could do that.
Yeah.
So I just feel like this product is beyond just something that is क्या उसे कहते हैं, just a product.
Yeah,
It's
exact.
it's about saving lives.
Yes,
Because
I do think so.
it is about
Yes,
saving.
yes.
Because I know that
Yeah.
Spectra saved that baby's life
Yes.
that I pumped for. It's the mothers, it's their babies, it's
Absolutely.
babies who really need the breast milk because formula doesn't have those antibodies and all. Because उस case में यही था कि they could not use formula for that baby. They needed breast milk, and they needed freshly pumped breast milk, not
Yes,
even like
yes.
refrigerated.
Yes,
उसमें
yes.
था कि even the most doctors that highly recommend formula, even they were like कि नहीं,
Yeah.
इस केस में फॉर्मूला नहीं, इस बच्चे को ब्रेस्ट मिल्क की
Yes,
ज़रूरत
yes.
है. एंड वो एक ऐसा सिनेरियो था जिसमें उसकी मदर उसको ब्रेस्ट फीड नहीं कर सकती थी, एंड शी कुडंट इवन पम्प बिकॉज शी वाज not well at all. She was admitted in the hospital herself. So if and at times like this, the only thing you can do is, मतलब उस बच्चे का सर्वाइवल सारा ब्रेस्ट मिल्क के ऊपर था.
Yeah.
और अगर पंप ना होता तो कोई और तो नहीं उस बच्चे को नर्स
Yeah.
कर सकता था ना. So somebody had to pump for him.
Yes.
So it's definitely a life-saving product. It's beyond just being a product.
Yes.
It's about giving these babies the nutrition that they need, which is everything.
Yes, which is everything.
So it's definitely something that is the reason why you do it, because
Yes, this is the reason why I do it, and I there are many instances. I recall one which actually made me cry a lot. Was there was this woman from a village who contacted us.
I know about this story. It's beautiful.
And she said that my baby is going to die because he's getting cow's milk. And he's
Oh my
only
God.
like, I cannot afford formula. I cannot afford pump. We're giving him khulawa doodh. Please help me. And I, without a hesitation, I sent over the hospital grade pump. I was like, she needs it. And, no strings attached, nothing. And then she had no milk because she wasn't pumping or nursing. She had drops. And I remember she's like, this is not working. I said,
Keep
this
doing
is not
it.
working because keep working. And I mean, after 3-4 months, she messaged me with bottles full of milk. She worked so hard. I'm not saying the pump worked hard. She worked so hard to actually pump every 3 hours, get that supply up, and actually give breast milk to her baby. So, I mean, I remember crying because I felt like I touched someone's life, and this just keeps me going because I know that this brand, this is needed in Pakistan. I know this is needed. I'm not making like millions and millions and millions, but I know that it's just bigger than that. And I think that's what differentiates us from like other, because there are a lot of other breast pumps in the market. I mean, there are, right? But again, at the end of the day, I think you get what you pay for with Spectra. You really do. You get
It's worth
more.
it's more. Definitely.
It's way more. And I've had many clients who कहते हैं बहुत महंगा है, हम अपने husband को कैसे convince करें और ये वो, and then I basically do the math for them, and then they just convince, वो खरीद देते हैं. And then months down the road, I don't even ask them, and they message me, "Okay, God bless you," and all these nice messages. And I'm not saying I'm doing charity work, but what I'm saying is it really, really like motivates me. And based on my personality, people think you're running a maternity supply company. Like they don't really understand, but really, like it is a fantastic product.
Like as a mother, like कि उसकी actually क्या value है, like how important it is. And like it's not just about the money, there's so much more to it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Or honestly, like the good thing about Spectra, I think, is कि it's hospital grade.
Yes.
So आप खुद use करके, if you can afford and you buy it, you can donate it to someone who can't.
Absolutely, yes.
Because उसका, I think ये है कि more than one person can use it.
Because it has backflow protectors. It's patented by Spectra. So when you use backflow protectors, milk can never enter the motor's pump. And so that pump can be passed down and the mother can purchase new breast shield sets.
हाँ, सिर्फ आपको parts change
सिर्फ parts change करना होता है. The plastic, जो वो silicone and all of that. And then you can just pass down the motor to like other mothers or for the next baby.
Okay, so I know that बहुत सारी women, they have some like confusions and like things they don't know, right? So if you can just tell some of those things to us, जैसे कि is pumping supposed to hurt? If it hurts, like what's the solution for that? And sort of कि किस instances में pumping जो है वो helpful होता है, या किस चीज़ के लिए वो कौन सी mothers के लिए it's the best sort of thing. So can you tell us these things?
So pumping hurts is a very common myth. इतना ज़्यादा common है कि like I've addressed it as well. So pumping should never ever hurt. Just like nursing should never ever hurt. Nursing also hurts. Pumping but both of them have a solution. So I'll focus on pumping. Pumping will always hurt if you have a wrong flange size. ठीक है ना? अब क्यों मैं discourage करती हूँ कि आप non-spectra ना लें? Because all other breast pumps that you find in the market have one flange size. And that's it. Okay. One breast shield size, which is usually 24 or 25 millimeter का होता है. So if pumping is hurting you, then that means the size is not correct and you need to measure your flange size. जो हम लोग का पूरा calculator है page पे. You can calculate your flange size. So you have to change your flange size, which is हम लोग का 16 से लेके all the way 32 तक we have that.
Oh, okay, that's great.
So we have all sizes. We have 5 sizes, and so you can just purchase that instead of using the regular 24. ठीक है? So that's one reason, main reason why pumping hurts. Second ये होता है जो बहुत common है वो ये है कि जब औरतें शुरू में first time pump करती हैं उनको uncomfortable feel करते हैं. With Spectra we have like 12 इतने ज़्यादा expression modes है वो level 12 तक चली जाती है. And I tell women slow down,
lower कर दें.
Start from this जिस उस pumping setting में डालो which is most comfortable. It doesn't have to be 10, 8. It can even be 4. It can be low. But you start off with something that's most comfortable because your body responds to stress. Your milk supply responds to stress. So when you're hurting, your milk will not come. You will not have a letdown and you will just sit there. This is not working. और stress होगा. फिर कुछ फ़ायदा नहीं.
हाँ, वो मेरी friend कहती थी कि तुम्हारा सप्लाई कभी भी नहीं बढ़ेगा अगर तुम सप्लाई का स्ट्रेस खाती रहोगी.
Exactly.
The moment you stop worrying about the supply, the supply comes back.
Yeah, exactly. So those are wrong flange size and very high suction. So because Spectra again has so many options, what women do is they go to the highest and they're like, oh my God, this is hurting. Okay? And yeah, so those are the two main reasons why pumping hurts for women. But the other reason why pumping hurts and why these 3,000, 4,000, 2,000 के pumps जो China के मिलते हैं, they don't work is because they have an extremely strong suck but no efficient suck. बस वो खींच रहे होते हैं. बहुत बुरा है वो, and that's why those pumps just barely work. It might work for some, एकदम से काम कर लिया, But for regular, consecutive, or at least from what I heard from a lactation consultant, if you intend to pump at least even once a day, you need a good pump. You need a good pump. So those are the two reasons. And what was the other one? What was the other question?
The other question was मैं भी भूल गई. I think it was कि हाँ, like what are the benefits of pumping? Because a lot of women, they're like कि awareness नहीं है ना, like कि हम pump क्यों लें. एक तो आपने बताया कि obviously it's at the end of the day it's much cheaper than formula, right? But because see a lot of the women are just like a उनको पॉइंट नहीं समझ आता. So can you sort of explain कि किस scenarios में, किस instances में why pumps are sort of important? And I'm talking about this not because you paid me to talk about Spectra or anything, or this is not a sponsored thing, but this is very personal to me as well. So like I really want to sort of tell people.
So for most women, I will say, because being part of so many lactation groups, breastfeeding is never a smooth journey. ठीक है ना? They have issues, बहुत ज़्यादा issues, and at any point in time you stop nursing because of these issues, your milk supply will fall. So you need your pump there.
हाँ, it's like even if you're not going to exclusively pump, अगर आपको किसी वजह से ब्रेक लेनी पड़ गई, या आप किसी वजह से अपने बच्चे से सेपरेट हो गए, या किसी भी वजह से ब्रेक आ गई, तो आपके पास पंप होना चाहिए.
And not a manual pump. Electric pump. Manual pump. Why a lot of women कहते हैं हम जाके manual pump. Manual pump is like आपको जहाज में पंप करना है जल्दी जल्दी, या आपको जिम जाने से पहले, या कहीं बहुत ही इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन है, you want a pump. That is it. उसके अलावा आप मैनुअल पंप कभी ना रखें. इट इज़ लिटरली यूजलेस. ठीक है ना? इट्स ओनली फॉर इमरजेंसीज. लाइक मेरे बैग में एक मैनुअल पंप होता था कि मैं जब कुमेल को बाहर लेके जाती थी एंड आई फेल्ट इनगोर्स, तो मैं पंप कर लेती थी. इट वॉज बेसिकली बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. बट so if for any reason breastfeeding is not working out, you really need a pump, or your baby is not latching, बच्चा लैच नहीं कर रहा है, बच्चा ineffective suck है, या सबसे बड़ा reason why you need a pump is if you're returning to work. ठीक है? Now I know not all women work, but if you're returning to work, you absolutely need a pump. So nursing is not working out, baby's not latching effectively, tongue tie, lip tie, you're returning back to work. But a big reason why you need a pump is because you need a break. I mean, really, like, are you going to just constantly nurse? It's not. बहुत मुश्किल है. And I feel like
in this day and age, बहुत मुश्किल है with all the things you have to do.
Like you want to go for grocery, or you want to go for a wedding, or I don't know, you want to take a break.
Do anything.
Like you need a break, you need to pump. And एक और बात भी आती है, there are a lot of times, I will not underestimate this, मुझे लगता है कि pump is really a necessity, like really a necessity.
Some people say कि it's a nice to have item.
Like it should be a must have item on your baby list. Like we buy all these लाखों की nursery items, and not लाखों,
if you're
but
spending,
really,
but no, people do like, और फिर भी उनको तो हम पंप पे क्यों खर्च करें, कपड़े ले लेंगे इतने सारे, but at the end of the day that's actually more important.
I was saying something जो बहुत important था. Even if nursing is working out perfectly for you, you want to build a stash, you're going out, you need to pump, right? But सबसे important होता है, which I have seen बहुत औरतों में, कि वो कहती नहीं हम सिर्फ nurse करेंगे, and then their baby starts going through sleep regressions, nursing strikes. That's when you cannot rely on a manual pump, you need an electrical pump. बच्चा nurse नहीं कर रहा for some reason. ये होता है, this is very common, and then you need to pull out an electrical pump. And if you have a bad electrical pump, it's going to really kill your supply, especially 3-4 months में आपका milk supply kind of establish होना शुरू हो जाता है, and really, like, I cannot emphasize कि you will need a pump, like बहुत, मतलब I cannot emphasize this enough. कि I think a lot of women who've actually reached out to me have also been women जिनके बच्चों को jaundice हो गया है, and then their babies are in the वहाँ पे hospital में है, and they're separated, and they're like हम क्या करें? They have to start pumping. A lot of women, what they do is they're like, oh हम engorged हो रहे हैं, or but we cannot nurse our baby, so it's okay. But actually that's bad, because it's going to kill your supply. If you don't take it out, your body's going to stop producing. You know?
Basically if your baby doesn't want to have the milk, and you're still, obviously you're producing the milk and you are engorged, you need to take it out. So you need the pump. बच्चा तो नहीं ले रहा ना, फिर आपको pump use करना पड़ेगा.
Basically there are so many reasons.
There are too many reasons.
There are too many reasons. I feel like it's बहुत लंबा topic है, but it's मेरे हिसाब से it should just be something that should be on your list. I mean, even if you don't use your breast pump, आप कहते हो वो महंगा है, you can sell it. People actually buy breast pumps. I have seen it because I'm on a lot of breastfeeding groups, and I've seen people sell their
pumps,
sell their Spectras. Like actually I've seen them, or they're like हम pass around calling a gift, they think whatever that is. But Yeah, I think it's a must have item मेरे हिसाब से.
This is not something that I understood before as well. जब मैंने वो use किया और उसके सारी चीज़ें, so I realized कि हाँ. And the work thing, especially when I started going back to work, like I was able to go back to work because I was pumping. वरना और बच्चों का obviously वो भी होता है cluster feeding sessions and all. You can't do anything else. If you're a working woman, आप क्या करोगे फिर? बच्चा हर वक्त आपके साथ चिपक गया हुआ है to nurse. You can't do anything. You can't leave the baby at a daycare. You can't hire a nanny because जो उसकी एक main demand है वो उसकी सिर्फ अम्मी से पूरी होती है.
Yes.
So it's a very big you can say it's a very important solution for working women. Because मेरा भी यही था कि because I was able to get back to work because of that. So सिर्फ ये एक थोड़ा सा आई थिंक पाकिस्तान में चीज़ के जब आप एक्सक्लूसिवली पंप करते हैं स्पेशली तो आपको हर 2 घंटे बाद पंप तो करना ही होता है राइट एंड पाकिस्तान में दे डोंट हैव दोज सॉर्ट ऑफ स्पेसेस कि अगर आप एक कॉर्पोरेट में काम कर रहे हो या किसी बिग ऑफिस में काम कर रहे हो और आपके पास कोई प्राइवेट एरिया नहीं है वेयर मदर्स कैन गो पंप. ये तो आई थिंक बहुत दूर की एक चीज़ है for our country to sort of understand. There is no concept of public places में maternity nursing rooms, pumping rooms, you know, कोई space provided हो to women जिन्होंने pump करना है या जिन्होंने nurse करना है ताकि वो कर सकें.
Pumps provide करें hospitals because my entire struggle for the last I would say many months has been convincing hospitals to keep electricals in their NICU. मैंने कहा forget the pediatric.
This is so sad कि NICUs में नहीं है pumps.
NICU में नहीं है pump.
Because पाकिस्तान में ये होता है कि अगर बच्चा NICU में चला गया that means formula.
मतलब so मुझे समझ नहीं आती because I have actually spoken with hospitals and I've said okay you don't have an electrical in your NICU but what's the alternative formula? So you're actually buying formula also. Why don't you put the money into a pump? Like बहुत मुश्किल है मेरे लिए लाइक दिस हैज़ बीन माई स्ट्रगल कि निक्यूज में नहीं है. आगा खान इज ऑन बोर्डिंग इन देयर निक्यू स्पेक्ट्रा सो S1 इज गोइंग टू बी देयर इन कराची व्हिच इज अ ह्यूज स्टेप बिकॉज आई कुडंट बिलीव इट.
So this is great. Like your business is basically you're doing B2B and B2C business. That's amazing.
So Aga Khan actually has Spectra pumps in their maternity. Yes, pediatric ward mein. So if mother
huge
needs a
win
pump,
for you.
Yeah, this was a huge win for me because it's part of their maternity package. If a woman has any issues, she gets Spectra. Not electrical, she gets the manual pump to stimulate if she's unable to nurse her baby because at that time the milk is not flowing, which cholesterol hota hai, so it helps her stimulate while she's basically at the hospital. So and then she gets to take it home as well. It's hers. So that was a big win for me. Aga Khan was big win for me. And then just December they onboarded us in their NICU and they're building a big children's hospital. So I mean I wish we can mindset. Because Humna, when as soon as I launched Spectra, मैंने कहा ये Aga Khan में जाएगा. And I remember I went to Aga Khan and they were using 200 rupees वाले pump. And I'm not joking by the way. You can ask anyone in Karachi. They've delivered in Aga Khan. वो 200 rupees का China का pump था उनके पास. And women used to basically be like this. It was the horn, जो blow वाला horn होता है ना. They were using that for their mothers. And it took me like 6 months to convince them
why
please
this is
switch to Spectra. I've spoke with lactation consultants there. I mean, we have बहुत अच्छी lactation consultant वहाँ पे Dr. Zora Kurji. She supported me and then I basically had meetings with them. बहुत ज़्यादा back and forth बहुत ज़्यादा. And then finally they onboarded Spectra. So I think the mindset will take still. हम अभी भी तो dinosaur ages में हैं unfortunately. But sad कि our hospitals के NICU do not have a single electrical. It's very very sad but
our generally वही बात है. I think one of the reasons for that is कि हमारे यहाँ इतनी because it's breast related तो चीज़ें इतनी tabooed है for so long कि obviously these conversations didn't happen. अब आपको breast cancer पे conversation मिलती है, आपको pumping पे, breastfeeding पे. पहले तो you couldn't even imagine talking about these things out in the public because it was just like तौबा इस्तग़फ़ार, right? आप इनके बारे में बात करोगे तो आप solutions की बात. And women who struggled, they literally had to hide in the shadows because they couldn't talk to anyone about it and they had to like sort of just live with the issues by themselves कि यार किसको to the point कि यार women like पुराने ज़माने में तो women couldn't even talk to their husbands because it was just like you know you can't talk about these things sort of a thing. So हाँ like इतनी tabooed है कि मतलब आप सोचें being a mom or being a nursing mother is, it's such a huge part of your population. और आपने उनको इंक्लूड ही नहीं किया हुआ इन योर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. ठीक है, कि अगर एक बेसिकली आपने सोसाइटी ऐसी बनाई है कि आप उनको आइसोलेट करते हो. ठीक है, सो इफ देयर इज एग्जांपल, इफ देयर इज अ वुमन who needs to go to the mall today. She's a nursing woman. Not pumping, nursing woman. ठीक है, nursing is more common than pumping, like people understand nursing. और वो मॉल गई है and then her baby suddenly needs the milk. So पाकिस्तान में आप पब्लिक में तो नहीं कर सकते, पूरी दुनिया में अभी भी like you can't do it as such. So there is no space provided कि जहाँ आपने bathrooms बनाए हैं वहाँ आप nursing rooms भी बनाएं. वो फिर क्या होता है कि वो दुकानों के क्या कहते हैं ड्रेसिंग रूम्स में,
ड्रेसिंग रूम गाड़ियों में जा रही होती है.
हाँ, आपने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ही ऐसा बनाया है कि औरत जो है वो घर से ना निकल सके बिकॉज उसके ये, और वो मदर्स को दैट्स व्हाई बीइंग अ मॉम मेक्स यू सो मिजरेबल बिकॉज यू कांट गो आउट एंड डू एनीथिंग बिकॉज यू आर जस्ट लाइक ओ मैं अगर बाहर गई तो मैं अपने बेबी को नर्स कैसे करूँगी या क्या होगा, आई हैव टू स्टे होम, सोशल गैदरिंग्स. फिर वही बात है कि उस पंपिंग नहीं लोग कर रहे, ऑल्सो फर्दर आइसोलेट बिकॉज आप हर जगह जो है बैठ के नर्स नहीं कर सकते. पंप आपने किया हुआ है तो जाहिर है, या आप बच्चे को छोड़ के कहीं नहीं जा सकते. यू मिस आउट ऑन इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग्स where babies are not allowed or you can't take babies. So you're not going to go there because you haven't pumped milk that someone can feed your baby. Sort of a thing, na? So it's just like these things, talking about these things, having these solutions and alternatives and conveniences, it's not like what I'm trying to say is that it's not just a micro level thing. On a macro level, you are empowering mothers. You are helping them feel less isolated, less alone. Like with all of this, you are helping them work, which is empowering. You're helping them be a normal part of society, which is empowering. Not be so socially withdrawn, not miss out on things that they would normally be able to do, like just taking a trip to the salon because they were able to leave pumped milk. Have space to breathe and live. Because breastfeeding really does.
It's a bonding.
So that's why like it's a very on a very macro level, it's extremely empowering for women. It's very makes them independent.
And definitely I think pumping is like a key personal choice. Like you don't want to nurse a baby, I mean you can pump, right? And obviously there comes a time when the baby rejects the breast or wants the bottle. I mean there are solutions. You don't have to feed the baby through a bottle. You can do cup feeding, you can do spoon feeding, So that is why last year I launched the hands-free shield cups, which basically empowered women a lot, because what happened was a lot of women said we want to pump at our desk क्योंकि हम time नहीं लेना चाहते हैं हर 3 घंटे बाद pump करने का. So I actually use them as well because I exclusively pumped and I use them. I used to actually pump while doing grocery as well. वहाँ पे तो मेरा S1 था actually, I didn't have 9+. तो मैं इसको बैग में डाल के और मैं अंदर डाल के really I used to pump, like मैं ऊपर जैकेट पहन
उसकी आवाज़ भी इतनी नहीं आती तो पता ही नहीं चलता, स्पेशली पब्लिक प्लेस में शोर इतना
शोर होता था. मैं पूरा पंप कर लेती थी, मतलब गाड़ी में भी. सो गाड़ी में बहुत पंप करती थी बिकॉज इतने लंबे रास्ते होते थे. आई यूज्ड टू जस्ट पुट इट, एक्चुअली दैट वाज द बेस्ट टाइम टू पंप बिकॉज बेबी कार सीट में होता था एंड आई वाज literally like pumping and doing stuff. So well, hands-free shield cups, I introduced them last year, and again like we had doctors, a lot of doctors who actually really appreciated that because they started work and they used to put the hands-free shield cups inside the bra, and you can connect it to any Spectra pump. They used to have 9+ usually, or 9+.
Pocket में डाल दिया,
white coat में loose और दिख नहीं रहा है because obviously when you put the hands-free shield cups you're going to look bigger, right? And वो loosen का white coat होता था, and they used to actually, I used to get messages कि we saw patients today and
we were pumping.
तो शुरू में you don't feel awkward, यार अब मैं निकलूं, लेकिन once you get over that anxiety of people judging you, literally people judging you for pumping nutrition, then you're just like I don't care anymore, So having used that, वो बहुत था. And again like ये मेरा goal है कि we want to provide good quality maternity supplies, but I also want women to really have access to convenient products. And again like inshallah February March में I'm launching a wireless electric breast pump जो LV और Willow की तरह होगा, which is in the US, and it will function.
That is amazing.
That is coming out
because
in February March.
मैंने LV भी use किया है.
Acha, you have.
Yeah, so I had
अच्छा,
the
अच्छा.
LV as well.
अच्छा.
So उसमें ये होता था कि LV तो बिल्कुल ही like no nothing
हाँ, you
attached.
just, it's a wireless
You just
electrical
put it in
pump.
your
Yes,
bra
yes.
and you know
Yeah,
वो
yeah,
तो वो work पे that was the best for me.
Yeah, yeah.
कि मैं और even घर पे if I had to
Yeah.
do some work,
Yeah.
chores करने आपने डाला और आपने अपने काम
Yes,
किए
yes.
और
उसमें तो कोई ट्यूब
super
कोई वाला,
convenient,
हाँ, super convenient था. I mean, you know, it's not like a one-stop solution because I do feel like because if I have to launch a wireless electric breast pump कि उनमें इतने hospital grade वाला motor नहीं होगा,
of course,
right?
of
But
course.
the convenience, maybe you'll pump, like maybe it'll take you longer to pump, but the convenience that it offers, you know, it's basically आप pros and cons करें तो, but I'm really excited for that. I think it'll be a huge hit for like mothers on the go, mothers who just like are working or traveling or anything, right? Like even generally if they, if you know what, I actually have used Willow as well. Not, Willow, it was the other one, and it wasn't as effective as and I was scared my milk supply would fall. मैं बहुत paranoid हो चुकी थी. So I switched back to S1 और मैंने hands free shield cups लिए थे, but you can sit with your friends.
Yeah.
You can sit in a large. You can. Sit
I
in a
went
large
to the
gathering.
bank. That's a secret, but I went to the bank and I sat there and I did all my work.
Yeah.
And again, it's so amazing because I really had to go to the bank.
Yeah.
जो मेरा business था, I was having some issues, so I really had to go to the bank.
Yeah, of course, business में तो बहुत ज़्यादा काम.
Right? और उसमें यही था कि अब आप ये चीज़ें देखो कि ये इतनी छोटी-छोटी चीज़ें हैं that can make your like as a woman, it can become such huge obstacles for you to work and run your business.
Yes.
But because I had that bump, I was able to just go to the bank and continue my work and do something that was so important.
और कितनी खुशी मिलती है that you're striking two things off your list.
It's such an empowering feeling.
I love it.
That I pumped while being at the bank, figuring out my business shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Technology बहुत आगे जा चुकी है.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And like social gatherings and so many things, work पे काम चल रहा है, nobody knows, you know, you're doing it.
And I think हम ज़्यादा feel करते हैं. People don't notice. Like I'm telling you, like once I remember apologizing for pumping, and I'm just like, what the hell am I doing?
You only apologize for something that's wrong.
Yeah, and
There's
I remember
wrong
like,
with that.
I remember I was in the US or I was exclusively pumping, and I remember कि my husband's friends came over और मैं बोलती, oh, I'm sorry, I'm pumping. I was like, but why? She was like, oh my God, why are you apologizing? Like she was like, क्या हो गया? Like remember I was wearing my hands free shield cup, so मेरा pump corner में रखा था, and we were talking and I'm walking around, and it's such an empowering feeling because you know pumping can feel isolating as well, and even nursing because a lot of mothers are not comfortable nursing in front of people.
Yeah, so you can pump.
So breastfeeding can become isolating here, you know, and so these tools can actually really empower you, anyone, you know.
I think you know why this is amazing because you know when I had to go to the bank and do that thing, I didn't have to sit there and make a decision between being a mother and being a businesswoman.
Yes, absolutely.
Of feeling guilty.
Yes, absolutely.
Of choosing something that I wanted to do for myself.
Yeah.
And because of a pump, I didn't have to make that decision. Because of the pump, I could choose to be both a mother and a businesswoman and feel no guilt about skipping a session that could destroy my supply.
Yeah.
So, that makes it awesome, you know? Yeah. So, I think, that's about it. Anything else you would like to say, Sehrish?
You know, all I would like to say is that anyone who's got Spectra, I mean, thank you so much. Because, like, when I hear your stories, really, like, I really care. और मैं हर मैसेज देखती हूँ by the way, even though I'm the owner, like I have really a lot of stuff going on, but I read everyone's messages and it really is the driving force for me to continue this because I know that Spectra really is a premier breastfeeding company, and I know we have a long way to go in Pakistan, and I'm so grateful that all of you guys support me because I know that a lot of mothers have started using Spectra and I hear all these things. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys can continue supporting us because we are in Pakistan facing a huge financial crisis with importers, and the State Bank of Pakistan has imposed a lot of regulations on us to discourage imports, and I really wish and hope that I don't have to like shut down, you know what I mean? And I want to continue with my mission. Inshallah we won't, you know, and inshallah like and you guys don't understand, but because of you guys, I am here.
Here,
I mean, you guys are the reason, or koi reason nahi hai, because you guys give me sales, and you guys are, and that's how I can continue the agency. The agency won't keep me. The agency won't allow us to operate in Pakistan if we don't have enough sales. And I still think we have such a long way to go, but really I'm so grateful for like
This
everyone
is the start.
who's part of Spectra and who trusts our products and are always so appreciative and grateful of everything. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sehrish, for coming and talking to me. It was so nice.
It was lovely.
Lovely. It was long overdue because we've known each other for a while now.
We have this Spectra connection.
Yeah.
There was a point like you were like, "ये Humna बहुत promote करती है Spectra." I was like, "No, she actually uses the product, And so it's obviously like it warms my heart that it has helped you, बहुत ज़्यादा. Like it's not really like business, business. Like I'm so glad that it was able to help you, and I would like to thank you. Because you have such nice things to say,
Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning into this episode. I hope that you learned a thing or two. I'm sure that you did. I'm just so happy I did this podcast because, again, it's such a, so close to me, the whole thing. And I really hope that if anyone is sort of struggling with any breastfeeding issues or such, I hope that your problems are solved and maybe you can look into pumps and, have that solution for you. Agar aapko nahi pata tha, so I hope that this podcast helped you find that solution. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and Allah Hafiz.